the previous stream, I looked over and I noticed my Streamlabs was giving me like notifications, which I'd never seen before, and it's like 40% frames drop, 53% frames dropped, and I'm like, wow, what's going on? So I went to speed test and ran, just the test, and it's like, oh, 4 megabytes upload speed or download speed, 2 upload speed, which is like insane because we have like gigabit internet here, or gigabyte internet here, and so it's like, oh my god, what's going on? And then I noticed on the speed test it said using closest server, Tokyo. I'm like, oh wait. So yeah, I accidentally streamed while I was still on a VPN from earlier today. So yeah, sorry about that. Alright, let's go over this game. It was pretty quick, mainly because a dealer over here ended up getting a very nice sumo right here, followed by a direct 3 Okake Richi, and amazingly enough, I was not the one to die. This person was. I think I was the last tile as well. Let's see, because there's like 3 6s. I can see 1, 2, 3. Oh no, there's one more 3 left. Okay, that's cool. And of course, all of the Haku were in their hands. Yeah. So, quick game. How did I avoid last in that game, you ask? By waking up every morning and thanking the creator of Tenhou for not letting me draw that tile. Alright, so, first off, East. 2-0, second turn, Chi. Or 7th turn, Chi. So, I moved around this hand. I still have 5 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 2 that I have incomplete right here are both pretty bad. 6 pin, which only has 3 left, and then 3 so, which isn't that bad because I have the 4, 5, 6, 7 right here, so I can improve it with like a 5, a 6, or an 8. Then the 3 came out, and I had a choice here. It's like, well, I can take instant tempai, which might not be that bad, considering Toyman looks kind of weird. They didn't call the Dora, though, so it's like, okay, what are they doing? They dropped a lot of middle tiles over here. It doesn't look like Honitsu, considering that they dropped, like, Pinzu tiles. It could be Yakuhai, but, I mean, that's also kind of weird, because it could be like a Hatsu, Anko. Haku's gone, they killed it. East, they dropped one of, which they could technically have an Anko of. So I don't know what's up with that. And then they called it 1 pin, of all things. So considering that, I'm like, maybe I should just call this. It's going to be bad shapes anyway, and getting an instant tempai for something that's safe against the dealer and also they can't use doesn't seem that bad. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I should cheat this. All things considered, it is... I guess it's not that bad. Like, the only reason I'm going to defend against this is, like, if I consider maybe they have, like, a door or something later on. But they didn't call it the door either, but they could technically have an Anko of that. I have, like, literally no idea what this is. But, if one of these 2 decides to reach later on, the 2 Mons are pretty safe for both of them. Early 3 Mon here, 2 Mon right here, and I can technically still throw the 3 to this person as well. So I have some defensive opportunities to like walk back to in case either of them reach, and then I can basically just turn this hand into a Kawashite, which even if I do get Tempai on a closed weight, Richi Dora 1 on a bad Kanchan is not ideal, especially if there's like some weird stuff going on. Now, weird stuff can be either like, oh, they're just going for like an odd hand, or it's going for a big hand. Usually, it's going for an odd hand because it's a big hand. So, yeah, I kind of like calling here. Let's see. Shori says, looks good to me as there's little difference between open and closed value. I can't see the hand turning out closed, and some safety towards everyone. My thoughts exactly. Then, as soon as they call this, it's like, oh, okay, that looks like either Chanta or Junchan. Which is also kind of concerning, considering that they dropped a 7, called Chi, and then a 9 pin. So that means they're probably pretty close to Tenpai, if not in Tenpai already, because they called and then they dropped it. So if you ever see like a Tatsu drop, usually right after that, it's not guaranteed that they're in Tenpai, because they still need to like, they still need like that one tile, because even if they draw a tile and they're like, ooh, I'm going to drop a Tatsu now, they need like the perfect tile next draw basically to jump into Tenpai. Of course, the exception to that is calling and then dropping it, because this right here is basically the equivalent of, oh, I got that perfect draw and now I'm going to finish dropping off my Tatsu. So if the dealer is in Tenpai right here, I would not be surprised. Now what do they have? It could be just Junchan, or it could be an Anko of any of these Yakuai tiles that I don't see 3 of, which is also possible. So yeah, I kind of liked opening up that hand, all things considered. Haha! In reality, what did they have? Oh, that's an Anko, yep. Oh, that's cool. Did they not? Wait, they didn't call the door, or they didn't have it? Oh, okay, they didn't have it. They just drew into it right afterwards. So yeah, that's pretty scary. Instant Tenpai for Mangan over there, and our cute little Tanyao ended up diffusing that. Alright, that saved me a lot of pain. Next up, East 3-0. I had a lot of questions in this hand, so let's just step through it one by one. So, first off, one Shanten, I got one door right here, and Tone right here, so not bad. I could open up and instantly get Tenpai on the 7 pin, which I guess isn't that bad. Even if I do Richi, it's only going to increase, probably not by that much, and I have bad shapes all around, so if I can call Instant Tenpai with this, I think that's pretty okay. Now, I could have been tricky here and like drop the 6 pin first, but usually if it's like that suspicious, like something's up. So if I am trying to discard, like disguise my discards, dropping an Otakaze first, and then afterwards, like dropping a 6 pin to just disguise like early 7 pin, if I do end up wanting to reach in on this hand later, is okay. But like dropping a 6 pin first and then like a 7, or then like Otakaze, that just like says to everyone, hey, watch out for this. Or maybe I'm just overthinking things. So then East instantly comes out, so it's like, do we take this or do we not? So if we take this, we're instantly Tenpai for East and 1 Dora. So 2,000 point hand, very quick off the bat. If we ignore it, we have 3 tiles left right here. I'm sorry, 2 tiles right here, 1 tile right here, and 4 tiles right there. So our chance of actually drawing into 1 Shanten with these tile count is, let's see, so that's 4 plus 2 plus 1. So less than the chance of drawing from 7 pairs 1 Shanten to Tenpai, which, as you might know, takes an average of like 14 turns, so we should probably call this, which I did. Then, throwing 6 pin early doesn't make much sense in the case of like an open hand like this, where people aren't going to defend against it anyway. So we might as well drop 6 pin to leave open the, 9 pin, to leave open the chance for a 5 pin or even a red 5 pin improvement. Then the game throws me a curveball, and it says, okay, here's another door. What do you do? Let's see. Shori says, getting a Shampoo Richi would be nice, but it sounds unlikely. Upgrades are difficult when you stay close, and considering cutting 9 pin and drawing Formon is not exactly an upgrade either. Yep. Alright, so now it's like, well, this is a little different, because with this Dora draw, we now have a chance to upgrade this hand to a potential Mangan. Either by drawing, calling or pulling another Dora, or drawing or pulling potentially even the red 5 of Manzu. So we kind of switched over from a 2K like quick Kwashite to a potential chance at, a sizable hand. Do we take this? I don't really see that much reason kind of not to. I mean, it's still early on. Even dropping back down to 1 Shanten, I think, is not that bad. So yeah, I kind of like dropping 1 mon here, moving over, have the 2-door in our hands, and potentially getting a 8,000 or 7,700 point hand with any of the red 5 draws as well. So we have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles that will upgrade this hand to a Mongon. So yeah, I kind of like that. If it was like 3,900 point hands at max, then that's kind of iffy, but if you have a Mongon in sight, like, that's like, you know, that's a Shobute right there. That's like, oh, okay, I can like fight someone if they come at me, even like a dealer if I have a good side weight. So, yeah. Now, questionable choices came after that. Alright, the game's like, oh, you like that Dora, so how about this nice Yon Renke right here? I mean, you know, you already broke up your Tenpai, you might as well go for a little bit more, you know? Maybe draw a 3, get a 5-sided weight. Nice improvement. So what do I do right here? Currently my blocks are basically like 1, 2, 3, 4. So, what I could do is I could drop the 3 Monzu. I lose the 4 Monzu, which is kind of a big hit, maybe. It's like 4 tiles to that shape, which I need to either complete the 2 Monzu shape or the 3-5 Monzu shape. But if I do drop the 3 Monzu, and then I have the chance to, you know, do anything right here, I can upgrade throughout this and keep this nice shape. Pinzu doesn't look that bad. I mean, there's an 8-7 right here. Early Tatsu drop. Most likely, they don't have any 7 Mons in their hand. So that's looking pretty good right there. Plus, 6-6, 8-8 makes 7 a lot harder to use now. So I really like this Kanchan. So yeah. Do I throw out the 4 for the chance at this? Yeah, I kind of like that. Especially if my goal with this is to raise it up to an 8,000 point Shobu hand anyway. If I did have to choose on a final weight, I would be choosing like the 2-mon, 5-mon Shabo over like a 4-mon Kanchan. Plus, if I do happen to get like any of these tiles, which is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, or not 12, 8 plus 6, so 14 tiles, I can instantly improve. I kind of like it. Shuri, I'm not too sure about changing this upon drawing more Dora. That's something we're thinking about a bit more. So it's like, I don't know. This hand is very similar, I think, to, well, actually, I have a book right here. Okay. Dun-dun-dun-dun, Osiki book. So there's a certain question here where it's like, alright, do we step back 1 to upgrade to Honitsu? The logic being is that, in the case where it only upgrades our hand to like 3,900 points at most, it's like, no, we don't want to do that, because that's not much different than the 2,000 point hand we have right now. But if it brings it up to the chance of getting the 8,000 point hand, it's like, yes, we should, because, you know, this now becomes basically a hand that we can fight with. So that's kind of what I was liking the drawing the Dora to, right there. Now, where is that question? Oh, here we go. So, kind of like this one right here. Except, of course, this one's a little bit different because it's like, whoa, what is that hand? So, one thing about Tenhou avoiding 3rd place game, you mean last place? Tenhou is partially about avoiding 4th place, but more than anything, it's mostly about getting more 1st place and 2nd places than you get 4th places. And so especially like in East Round, the biggest thing you care about is EV, estimated value. What is the path that I should take in order to basically get or the most points or lose the less points out of this current hand. So in a lot of cases, you know, that can just be like, I don't know, if you have like Riichi, if you have Tenpai with like Pinfu only, it's usually better to Riichi that as opposed to stay Dama, because your EV, or the points that you're going to be getting, or like not losing, is going to go up if you Riichi as opposed to if you stay Dama. So kind of same concept there. Yeah, the shape was much better in the book. Yeah. The biggest thing, I guess, the difference between this and the book is that in the book, you still have kind of like the same jump to Mangan chance, but the shape was a lot better in the book. But one thing that we have that's not in the book right here is a lot earlier hand. Like, it's still the third turn. So is dropping back to Tenpai right here like worth it because it's like this early on? Or should we, you know, keep going on their 7-pin Kanchan? Or I guess, if we do ignore it, how likely is it that we can upgrade this hand to a Mangan? And then how likely is it that we can retake Tenpai again, if we do give it up? All the questions. Let's see. Gonna send this picture to one of my friends as well. Haha, I pulled Shori over to the upgrading side. Yeah. I mean, it's still early on. I guess, like, the biggest thing here is, like, it's still early on. If this was, like, the 6th turn, or the 7th turn, probably not. Probably not. But considering that it's, like, the 3rd turn, and we can also take Palm 10 with both of these, I kind of like that. Not to mention, our other shape is a Kanchan, but it's not looking that bad right now. Okay, it was kind of looking... Oh, even right here, early 8 usually also means, like, no 7. Because you, even if you do have a 7, you usually don't drop it from your hand that early on. Especially if you have, let's say, like, a 4, 5, 5, 6, 7. You generally won't drop a 5, 6, 7, 8 shape, unless you're, like, really, really close to Tenpai. So, yeah. I fully believe that they probably don't have 7-pin in their hand. Yeah, I kind of like the upgrade. Plus, like, this Dora right here is a lot different than, let's say, I don't know, like a 5-mon Dora or like a, 6-pin Dora or something. 2-mon Dora is a lot, I wouldn't say, well, not a lot, but it's a bit harder to use than 3 through 7. So, yeah. Plus, every single shape that we have in this hand can take in the red 5. Like, we can take in the red 5 of Manzu right here, we can take in the red 5 of Pinzu right here, we can take in the red 5 of Sozu right here. So we don't just have the upgrade of, the last 2 Dora right here. We have all 3 the red Dora upgrades as well, giving us a total of 5 tiles, which, to 5 tiles upgrade to a Mangan does not seem that bad. So yeah. I kind of like that. Now this one right here, though, is a little bit more iffy, but... But, yeah. This one right here is a little bit more iffy. I mean, if you technically consider the same kind of logic of, like, oh, I want to upgrade this to a Mangan, the 3-mon drop isn't that significant, I think. And we do get a lot of tiles to upgrade the shape. How far can I upgrade this hand? How far can I search for greener pastures? Get it? Because it's Sozu, so it's greener pastures. Let's see, Shuri, and Formon draw doesn't make you that happy. Yeah. Yeah. Because, like, yeah, that is true. Because even if I get the 4-mon draw, I can't take in the 2-mon at that point. Well, I guess I can, but I can't pawn it. I have to, like, draw it and then switch out the 5-mon. So that is true. So it's, like, a lot of, like, you know, meh for a lot of, like, So yeah, I guess that's not that bad. Everything I do is questionable. Huh. Should probably still throw East Air that here. And now we jump into more questionable. Okay, so at this point it's like, well, we got a Tuso, and now this is kind of interesting because we can now drop, you know, one of our shapes. But which one do we drop? Do we drop? We can't drop the 2-mon. That's the Dora. We could potentially drop the 5-mon for the reasons I'll state in just a little bit. And then we have this and this. So normally in this case you would probably drop the 6 and the 8-pin, starting with the 8-pin just in case you draw the 5. But in this case, I was thinking, man, the 7-pin looks really good right here, considering their discards. But I guess considering everyone else's discards, it's pretty meh. So yeah. If everyone had, like, you know, like, an early, like, 9-pin or early, like, 8-pin, that would be pretty decent grounds, I think, for keeping this 6-8 shape. But right now, it's like, the 7 looks really good in that this person doesn't have it. But what about this person right here and this person right here? Like, their discards basically tell us nothing of Upper Pinzu. They could have, like, 3 of them for all we know. Like, we have absolutely no information here. Considering that, we should probably drop the 6-8 pin here. Now, in the game, I was, like, really hyper-focused on, basically, like, oh my god, look, like, they dropped that, they dropped this, whoa, okay, they probably don't have any 7-pin. 7-pin is great, drop the 5. But, of course, even if you can see that a person probably doesn't have the 7-pin, that doesn't tell you anything about the other 2 people. So, yeah. That was definitely a misplay on my part, I think. Yeah. So I should have probably dropped the 8-pin right there. And of course you want to keep the 2-so around because, like, this shape is still very improvable. If you draw a 5, a 6, or an 8, then you immediately just, like, switch over and drop the 2. Plus, keep these 2 around. We can still pawn 10 either of these. If we get the 6, we can, like, expand it that way as well. So yeah, 8-pin right here I think is a lot better. Alright. And then the 3 got pulled, and it's like, no! I guess there's still one of them out there now. But then this guy looked like they were going for, like, yeah, I don't know. So at this point, it's like, okay, I should probably, like, slim down to safety. They dropped this right here, dropped this right here. Chances are they're probably not waiting on 2, especially since they passed it up right here. So slim down to the safe tile that I have right there. Shori says, I think you can cut the 8-pin and there might be a chance for 2-so, but not 5-mon, yeah. Oh yeah, and then the last 3 is right there. Then after that, okay, we'll just fold. Alright, so, it's going back in time. How good was the 7 and the 8, 6, and the 8? Answer, this person didn't have any, I was right! Other answer, yeah, it tells us nothing about these 2 people. Yeah. Yeah. On a better note, no, there's no 2-mon out either. The 3-so did get a little bit unfortunate with this right here. But yeah, I definitely probably should have dropped the 8-pin over the 5-mon right here. Alright. Next up. East 3-1, 4th turn. Actually, let's go back a little. So what is my idea here? It's like, well, I'm 1 Shanten from 7 pairs with a Dora. If I end up with this as my remaining thing, I want to wait on it. If I don't end up with this on my waiting thing, I want to end up on something that I could potentially run someone else for. So how do you do that? Usually the answer is abuse the system. So a normal progression for a hand, a Mensu hand, is first off you drop, lone 1s and 9s that are connected with like a 4 and like a 6. Usually follow that up with Yakuhais. Otakazes, so like guest wins. Yakuhais that don't do anything for you. You then follow that up with lone 1s and 9s. And then you then follow that up with, your Yakuhai tiles. And then you follow up with your 2s and 8s, and then your 3 through 7. So, if we want to disguise this a little bit better, we can basically, switch up the order here some. So how do we do that? Either A, let's say, I don't know, we could have, a guest wind. And first off, we throw, a 9, and next off, we throw a regular Yakuhai tile. Then that a bit helps disguise, oh, they have, another guest win. They're waiting on a Tankion in their hand. With a Chitotsu hand, you basically kind of want to make it, or try to make it, so that it doesn't look that much different than a regular hand progression. But only if that actually will help your end goal of them dropping your winning tile. You shouldn't sacrifice that much for it, because sacrificing, a lot, even actually getting your hand to a winning state, for, the Great Illusion, is generally not that great, I think. And right here, what do I got? I got 4 lone tiles right now, 9 Mon, 7 So, East, and Haku. I can't drop the Haku because that's the Dora. So we have 3 tiles remaining that we can drop. What do we go with? If I had to choose which of these tiles to wait on in order, it would probably be, of course, we'll leave the Dora aside because whatever we end up with, Dora is a pretty good weight right there. I would probably choose East, followed by 9, then followed by 7. The 7 might not be that bad, especially if we can see another 6 that comes out, because that might mean it's pretty usable if people don't throw it on early on, because with most of the 6 being gone, it's pretty hard to use in their hand. And if we don't see it, that means they quite possibly don't even have it. So, yeah. Start off with 9 Mon. Next off, we draw a Chun. Now, Chun is a 1-cut honor tile, and it's if you had a choice, if I get the Tenpai next turn, and I had a choice between waiting on the Chun or the East, which do you think would have a higher winning rate? In this case, it's actually the Chun is better. So this is covered in Meaning's book of how if you have the choice to wait on a Shonpai Yakuhai versus a 1-cut Yakuhai, the 1-cut Yakuhai is actually pretty good for Tunky weights. So right here, I'm yeah, let's keep this around, go for it. Still maintaining my stuff right here. Now, one came out right here. It's do I want to hold on to this Chun? Or do I want to, drop a 7 or an 8 right here? At this point, I probably should have dropped the Chun. It's still early on. A Chun after East doesn't say that much about my hand. And it only has 1 tile left. Even if I do end up as this with Chun as my potential weight, it's probably better just to take 7 Mon or 8 So at that point. Now another thing I could have done right here is drop the 7 So, but that starts to become a little bit suspicious, and especially if you don't see any honor tiles at the beginning. If you do ever declare reach, if someone is safe pushing, because what are the reactions to reach? You have, Betauri, straight up fold. You have, I don't care, I'm going to push. And you also have, I care some, but I'm still going to push. And the third one, I think, is probably the most scary in Ho-Oh. Because they basically just abuse what they can see on the board. to push the tiles that they think, if you were following, you know, the standard, like, progression, like, what would you possibly, you know, quite probably not be waiting on. Let's see, considering how push-happy Ho-Oh people are, going with the Hellweight form, it seems bad, therefore Chun. Yeah, so in that case, yes, I agree, I should have dropped Chun. Now here I'm trying to be a little bit sneaky, and I'm like overthinking myself, like, no, I want to hold on to Chun, so I don't, you know, give off anything. But no, that's BS. I should have dropped Chun here. Mistake number 1. But this did give me actually a decent opportunity that I saw as well, which is, because people are push-happy in Ho-Oh, if I drop a 7 right here, the 8, especially if I end up reaching, like, down here, the 8 so is really good for someone just to be like, I'm willing to push your hand, but not too much. Like, they love early Matagi. Like, love it. They will push that all day. So yeah. Yeah, push happy. People in Ho-Oh are a bit different than in other rooms, because, like, Ho-Oh is 7 Dan and above. It's the Phoenix room. People like to push here. But it's not like, you know, pushing like in Ippon, like the first room, where people are just like, what's defense? Wee! Or I'm gonna throw everything against a reach. It's a lot different. Even though they do push, everything is like, you know, calculated to one way or another. Whether that's, I'm pushing because the EV of my hand is worth it, I'm pushing because of the tiles that I can see, you are most probably not waiting on like this, and this tile, and even if you are, it's gonna be cheap, etc., etc. So they push a lot in this room, but they are ferociously like logical with their pushes. So don't get the idea that it's just like a random I'm gonna throw everything kind of push. It's much scarier than that. So yeah, this 7 so does actually set up this 8, which is pretty decent. But of course now it's like Chun's like completely gone. I should 100% just get rid of that. Like, what am I doing? Get rid of it. Even though that does kind of maybe hint of, hey, why did you hold on to that Chun when it was already, like, 2 dead? What are you doing? It doesn't give away, like, Chitoitsu specifically yet, especially with my early discards. It could just be like, oh, I had, like, you know, the progression in my hand, I needed to get rid of this, I had safe tile overflow, etc., etc., that might say that, oh, this guy's hand is a little bit fast, why did he hold on to that? But it doesn't say, you know, like, oh, he's going for 7 pairs. So yeah, I should have dropped Chun. But no, the grand illusion must continue! Same thing with all these tiles right here. It's just kind of like, you should probably drop Chun. You know, Tenpai is great, you should probably drop Chun. Okay, now you drop Chun, there we go. And then this guy reaches, and at this point, things are going around, and I get into Tenpai. Now, which one should I reach on? As a weight, that is more likely to come out. I think the 8's actually pretty decent. But of course, 7 pairs with a Dora. What do you wait on? You wait on the Dora. If you Ron, it's at least 8,000 points. If you Tsumo, it's 12,000 points. If you get Uradora, it's potentially 16,000 points. So this is like no question, wait on the Dora. Plus, even if you do throw the Dora, the person in reach could also be waiting on the Dora. And if you're risking that for your Chitoitsu Nomi, not that great. So yeah. What was unfortunate for us, though, was that our friend over here had an Anko of these. But, meh. That's Mahjong. Sayonara. Alright. So, yep. That's all the notes I had in this short game, because Dealer whomped last place with a Uradora and an Anko of the Dora. So, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I gotta run off to Berkeley Mahjong to go and play in our 4-game finals. I think we'll be streaming it on Twitch, and so I'm gonna host that on my channel. That starts at around 6:30 my time, so in about 45 minutes or so. Or I guess technically, what is that? 6, 50 minutes. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you around. Tomorrow I'm going to be streaming, and at 7 o'clock my time, which is like an hour and 20 minutes from right now, I'm going to be playing in a online select thing that we got going between like the qualifiers for the North America's team of the International Online Riichi Mahjong Championship, along with some other people, but most importantly, I'm playing Doppo, who's like the third Tenhou, so yeah, looking forward to that. I'll be streaming that game too, so then I'll have my commentary as I play. And yeah, thanks for watching.